Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of the Extra Point. We got the hit squad in the house. We got Tasha T. Sizzle dressed up in her No Limit Soldier outfit today. All right,
I told ya.
she thought she told you. And Mike coming to you live from Globe Life Field out there in Arlington, site of the World Series. What's going on, Michigan, Mike?
Yep, we had a good night last night.
A good night indeed. We will definitely get into that. I know that people are going to do a double take when they log on and see you in red and blue. I don't think they've ever seen you don the color red ever. I don't think I've ever seen you in the color red.
I don't own anything.
Not on Saturdays.
Right, it's a bye week though, right? What was you saying, Tasha? You know what?
I don't wear anything red.
Mike, she's a 49er fan, but we're going to move on.
I'm like, wait, what?
That's Cardinal.
Oh, okay. That's Cardinal. No. I get it because technically she didn't wear anything red the whole 4 days that she was here, and I was with her every waking second of them 4 days, and I did not see a red outfit. What we do see is a couple of sponsors that need a shout out before we get into today's action. Tasha, will you do us the honors?
We are sponsored by May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com. Y'all, baby girl has been on her grind. So May Jane's ain't been up and running. Baby girl been to New York, Pennsylvania, and back in time for the Battle of the Woods, which is Brentwood High School versus Ravenwood High School. She didn't send me any updated score. She probably did, but I was in the bed at 8:30 last night. But yes, May Jane's Coffee, that's MAEJANES coffee.com.
Excellent. And we are very proud of you, Miss Sasha Denise. Mike.
Wolverine _comics TX. We buy, sell, and trade all things comics. So hit me up. Market's getting low, so now's perfect time to buy.
Market's getting low now. It's a perfect time to buy. You heard the man. We're going to say good morning to friend of the show, Miss Martrice Hastings. Good morning. She says that Brentwood took the win in the Battle of the Woods.
Okay.
There you go. Got you right there. Miss Melanie Taylor, friend of the show, checking in early this morning. How you doing?
Just for a disclaimer, Melanie did provide her absentee slip, and it was a good one. So she is forgiven. She said she missed class, and she wanted to know if her excuse was valid, and I told her it was.
Always, and you're always welcome here. The key is under the mat. Welcome back, Miss Taylor. Now, y'all, it's kind of been I'm glad I'm doing this show with you two, because, ladies and gentlemen, these are the two most important people to me outside of my own mammy and pappy and sisters and brothers in them. And I'm going to need them today. I'm going to lean on them because it's been a tough sports week for you, boy. Every team that I know and love is going through, ladies and gentlemen. And I need these two to come talk me off the ledge. Good morning, Stephanie Coulter. Good morning, Denise. She said it wasn't just a win, it was a shutout. Get it right. 17-0. Now, Mike, Tasha, I'm coming to you with hat in hand today because I really need to talk through these things so I can have a good weekend. Now, our beloved Michigan Wolverines are on bye this week. But dadgummit, judging by the news media, the people who cover them sure the hell aren't. Now, every day there's been a new article or a new source coming forth regarding Connor Stallions and this alleged Spygate, sign-stealing gate controversy regarding our beloved Michigan Wolverines. Now, just last night, I come home from a wonderful day. I'm watching the World Series, and I see an ESPN article pop up where a former D3 coach has now come forward alleging that Connor Stallions paid him a couple $100 and threw in a ticket to a Michigan game in order for him to go and film 3 future Michigan opponents over the last 2 seasons, the last 2 years. Now, Mike, in this lengthy article, there was about 1,200 words. There was one particular sentence that stood out to me that I want to start with you on. The unnamed source said in this article that he has not been contacted by the NCAA or any investigators involved with this case. With that, I ask you this question, Mike. Well, what the hell is ESPN doing talking to you? Is this an NCAA investigation, or is this an ESPN investigation? Mike, what the hell is going on? Help me with this.
It's a witch hunt. Like they all have whatever they wanted to go after initially, so that's what they're going to keep to. I think you had talked about this article that everyone else is starting to get into and start putting the pieces together of like, is this an inside job? Was this is this directed specifically like, and why Michigan too, right? Like you talk to other schools and they're like, yeah, we do that too. And, you know, I think Klatt was talking about like how others have been talking about this rule being outdated, but they're like, oh no, don't bring that up because we do that too, right? So everyone's just like eating their stuff in the background, like, oh no, don't raise your hand to the teacher because then we're all going to get targeted. It's just why Michigan and it's Harbaugh.
Right. To me, it was just weird that I'm like, why is ESPN so invested in this? Then I did a little research, Mike. I looked on Michigan's schedule because you know the memory gets a little foggy sometimes. Michigan had no games on the ESPN family of networks. All of their games have been on Peacock, NBC, Fox, and Big Ten Network. ESPN, I'm gonna need you to mind your business. I'm gonna need you to stay the hell out of this. And in fact, Tasha, let me come to you because another major sports outlet, Sports Illustrated, posed a juxtaposition article this week where it basically showed a string of text messages between Stalions and a former student, where he says in the lengthy text exchange that he took the signs off TV. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is in 2021. He said he took the signs off TV, which is not illegal, and that his ultimate plan was to put together and compile a manifesto. I think he called it, Tasha, a Michigan manifesto.
The Michigan manifesto.
Okay, so I want to make sure I got that correct. To one day lead the program. So, Tasha, let me come to you with this. Is this guy Stalions? It doesn't sound like he's trying to help Harbaugh. It sounds like he's trying to replace Harbaugh and help himself. What are your thoughts on the text message exchange and this quote-unquote manifesto?
It sounds like he about to end up on an ID network show because that is creepy.
Right.
Let's just put that out there. That brother weird.
Right. That's some cuckoo stuff. Right.
For you to be talking about, that's like, what do we do every day, Pinky? Try to take over the world.
Do you think that he and Mike, I want to follow up on this with you real quick, but do you think that he is? I mean, it sounds like he wants him and this band of characters of his is trying to one day lead the program into, you know, the 22nd century or whatnot or what have you. But that doesn't sound like he's trying to help Harbaugh, does it? Sounds like he's trying to help himself.
I mean, wait a minute. Before Mike answers, you did have a camera, what do you call a videographer guy in Miami took over a team and won them a couple of championships. Right. So maybe that's what he was thinking. But for you to be
with Eric Spoelstra.
Right. For you,
I see what you did there.
For you to be sitting up writing a whole anytime you say manifesto, and this is taking it serious, of course, giving account of what happened in Maine earlier this week.
Right.
Anytime you say manifesto, that immediately puts a red flag up for me. Now we're talking about it, but that shit was creepy.
Right. And Mike, that was a creepy article. Here's my thing to you. Like, you can't have it both ways if you ask me. If this guy was trying to put together a manifesto, a booklet of how the program should operate going forward, you would think that he would go out of his way for Harbaugh to not find out, right?
No, I don't think Michigan really cares at this point. I think it looks bad on NCAA more than it looks bad on Michigan. From what I hear and see, everyone else is like, why are they keep on Michigan for? Why is NCAA acting? If anything, the common consensus is that the problem is that we don't have a college football governing organization. And so everything is being reacted to. We have outdated rules. Why are these rules still in place? Like, that was time before the iPhone, before YouTube, like, to Tasha's point. That's what I was saying. Like, you could watch a game and write something on there, like, okay, every time they have these signs up, 75% they run the ball. You know, like, that stuff is normal. So I think it's more on the NCAA right now. They just look bad.
And the challenge
Go ahead, Tasha.
Miss Janet Baggett Justice and one of those novels that she had us reading. It's much to do about nothing.
Right. But why do you think the media and ESPN specifically is so invested in this? Every single day we've shared in our chat a new article where they are talking to sources, not the NCAA. It's ESPN doing this. Why? Like, I'm trying to wrap my mind around why are they so invested in taking down Michigan?
I mean, I think it's like ESPN, as much as we say it's the mothership and Baby Girl is employed by them, at this point, they know that there are other outlets and avenues that people can get information. So
like the extra point right here. Keep going, Tasha.
Right. So they have to be like the first. And I know Robert Liddell, I mean, now not to be salacious or anything, but everything that's going on with Dwight Howard, which is his business, as he has stated, and everyone else has stated. ESPN want to act like they was the first one to report that story. No, y'all wasn't.
Right.
Like, why are y'all trying to be like the first to do everything? And it's really starting to make you look bad.
It really is, because to Mike's point, and he said this off wax, but I think that he'll be okay with me sharing this on wax. If you would look at the analysts on these shows, Get Up, First Take, all of the analysts, the former players, the coaches are saying this is much ado about nothing. That I don't understand why we're spending so much time on this, to which you get this weird, awkward silence from the mediator saying, well, to play devil's advocate, isn't it technically against the rules and shit? Like, why do y'all keep pushing this agenda? ESPN, I'm gonna need y'all to sit the hell down.
This is a summertime when the dead.
Right. This is a job with the gun story when there's no football going on.
Yeah, no football. No, when baseball season is, I mean, I hate to say that baseball season, ain't nobody watching them 1,052. We only watch them during the playoffs and the World Series. But, this is a time when you should have broke a story like this.
Right.
Well, yeah,
go ahead, Mike.
Nothing in college football is hype right now. Like we just talked about that. Like, no one's really playing. I mean, besides Michigan, who's not really playing anybody. You have Colorado not doing well, but if they were, we'd be talking about Dion.
Right.
So it's like
because if Dion was undefeated, this might not even be a story. To Tasha's point, that they're trying to fill summertime the clickbait with this stuff.
And speaking of Dion, what did Dion say? You can have the plays all day long, but you still got to stop them.
You still got to stop it. And I remember Mike sharing that to the point where he said, I can give you my whole playbook. You can know it's a sweep coming. And just a real quick story on that. Me and Mike were playing Madden about 10 years ago at my old place. And on third down, I knew he was going to run that damn sweep. I mean, the screen pass. I went zone. I went man coverage. I blitzed off the edge. I blitzed off the. I couldn't stop it. I knew it was coming. I mean, that's football for you. I just think that this is unfortunate for those kids, because those kids are not out scouting. They're practicing. Those kids are not out stealing signs. They are working on their craft. Those kids are the ones making tackles. That defensive front seven is the reason why we lead the country in points allowed. JJ McCarthy and let me just say this before we move on. I hear the Ohio State fans out there, and I love you, Treese. I hear the Ohio State fans. Shouts out to Justin checking in saying it's like the Chiefs. You can't stop them. That's right. You understand greatness when you see it. You got a couple of chips on your medal. What's really frustrating is when they say, well, look at Harbaugh's record in 2020. And then when this alleged sign stealing started in 2021, look at Michigan's record. Let me let y'all in on a little secret for y'all who don't follow football. Jake Rudock, Wilton Spate, Mephibosheth Nabuntu. Who was the Michigan quarterbacks prior to 2021? Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
There was a kid out of Illinois, by the way of IMG in Florida, named JJ McCarthy, that showed up in 2021. And just like with a lot of examples I'm going to give you, he's the reason why Michigan's fortunes changed, because they had a better quarterback. That's why they beat Ohio State the last 2 years. They had a better quarterback. Yes, he's better than C.J. Stroud. He will show that in the pros as well. You look at Clemson.
Because you look at all the other positions, we would still put them in the pros.
Right. It was everything but the quarterback position. The last Michigan quarterback to beat Ohio State was Denard Robinson, because he was a freak of nature. He was a one-man band, and you really don't see players like that come along often. What was Auburn after Cam Newton left? What's Clemson been after Sunshine left? What was Florida State been after Jameis Winston? We're talking about quarterbacks that led their team to a championship in a brief moment in time where they had a good record while that quarterback was there. Will you stop with the sign stealing? We got a Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback that's going to be a top 10 pick. That's why Michigan is taking off since 2021.
I was going to say the last thing on that too, because like everyone's talking about the Eagle push. Everyone knows it's coming on goal line.
Yes.
Everyone knows it's coming on goal line. You can't stop it. Like
you can't stop it.
To put this in just like, let's say regular people, for the average person who just out here listening. Tiffany told me, our friend Tiffany Rowe has a restaurant. It's in still kind of in. It's gonna get there. It's called Firebirds. I know Tiffany, and I know Tiffany can cook. When they say put your foot in it, Tiffany done set her whole ass in that food. That's how good. That's how good that food is. But she said someone asked her for her recipe, and I said, "Did you give it to her?" And she said, "Yeah." She said, because they still can't make it like I make it. She said,
come on, Tiffany.
Tiffany said, you can have all the ingredients that I put in my recipe for my chicken, for my food. She says, but they still can't make it like I make it.
But it can't do it like me. Nope. But you can't do it like me. Nope. Look, y'all got me fired up. And I'm going to tell you right now, me and Mike and Tasha are going to act the entire ass when we win that championship on y'all. I'm going to just tell you that right now. Buy the box set, buy the DVD, because that show is going to be special. Michigan has a great team. They have a great opportunity. And if you're Penn State and Ohio State now, you wish this article would have come out after the games with y'all, because now you know that with all of this out, there's no way that nobody can accuse us of stealing y'all's signs when we meet. Y'all going to have to just take this smoke. Now, with that being the case, and we're gonna, and I want to transition into the college football playoff poll because that comes out on Tuesday. Tuesday is a huge day, and we'll unearth that as we move along in the show. But Tuesday is the initial college football playoff poll, and I want to, Marjorie said, get your Johnny Cochran on there, Paul. If it don't quit,
must have quit.
No, if it don't fit, you must have quit. That's how it goes. All right, now. Thank you, producer. The ESPN playoff predictor comes out every year where they take the top 14 teams with the highest winning percentage to make this DFP ordered from most likely to least likely. Now, for the people watching at home, we have the teams up here on the screen for you. Mike, Michigan is listed at 4th with a 46% chance to make the playoffs. Did that surprise you when you saw that?
Yeah, because that's pretty much saying that we have a good chance of losing to Penn State, and I don't see that. So,
Tasha, Georgia is behind Michigan with a 31% chance, and that shows them on the outside looking in, according to ESPN. Did that surprise you?
Given their lackluster style of play and the way that it's just been, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Mike, coming back to you, does it surprise you that Ohio State is listed first with a 74% chance to make the CFP?
With that high percent, yes, but at number 1, no. Just because they beat 2 top teams, right. So it doesn't surprise me there.
Right, and we have to remember that last year they still made it in with 1 loss to Michigan, who they play on the road. Right. And to Mike's point, they do have 2 top 10 wins under their belt right now, 1 on the road, so they do hold the tiebreaker over most of the other teams that you see listed here. Now, Tasha, one thing that I thought that stood out kind of crazy was the fact that right behind Georgia at 31% is Alabama at 30%. Let me ask y'all this, and I want both of y'all to chime in. Which of these one-loss teams on the second line here do you think has the best chance to crack the top 4 when it's all said and done?
Of course it's going to be Alabama, because only reason why I'm going to say Alabama is because you guys know I pick Utah as my sleeper to go into the 4th slot. And so that means Oregon's not going to make it.
Oregon has a tough test today against Utah. We'll be picking that game a little bit later. Mike, what about you? Who's the one-loss team that you see that can possibly get into that top 4 mix?
I could see Texas. I could see Texas beating Oklahoma in a rematch for their Big 12 title.
All
I
right,
could
now
see
let me
that.
bring this down a minute because I don't want to block Mike's face because we got some questions for you from the Goon Squad. Tasha, you take this one. Has Georgia faced any true threats yet this season to evaluate their strength?
No.
Mike?
No, not at all.
Will a win against Florida today in the biggest cocktail party alive, will that move the needle?
No. Because y'all act like this is the Steve Spurrier, the urban liar Floridas that they getting ready to run amok on.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Florida is skating without a stick. They did put their hands on UT, but is that really saying anything?
Nope.
No.
Now,
moving on.
Jarrell Glenn, he agrees with you. He says Longhorns. Now, Damian says he agrees with you, Tasha, on Georgia, not to mention their tight end Bowers is hurt and will be out for over a month. They're in trouble. I think that Alabama will ultimately win the SEC.
I think SEC is going to beat each other up. So
because what do
I
we
don't
always
think
say?
either.
As long as Alabama is close to that line, they're going to find a way. Except with the exception of last year, because they were 6 last year. Had Alabama been 5th, I think they probably would have tried to find a way to put them in. If Alabama is close to that top 4, they're gonna find a way to put them in.
Alabama will lose again this season.
Okay, so
that's what I said. I mean, it could be LSU, yeah.
I don't know about LSU. I don't know about LSU. If anybody does clip them, it will be Georgia. But I think that if just judging from the eyeball test, Alabama has looked better than Georgia pretty much the whole season, even if you do count the loss to Texas. Georgia, we'll see what they got cooking. But Florida is a dangerous opponent for them to face today.
But
because
if you see Alabama and Texas at the same spot, they finish with 1 loss. They're going to give it to Texas because they already beat them.
But we
shall see. Well, it depends on how. But here's the thing: if they have to both win their conference, if Alabama finishes with 1 loss, that means they beat Georgia in the SEC championship game, and then they're going to be in. So it may knock out someone else.
I don't care what nobody says. That SEC champion will always be in that top 4. I don't give a damn who else is undefeated in the Pac-12.
If they have 2 losses, it's not going to get in.
But he just said if they're the SEC champion, that means they beat Georgia. I don't care. The SEC champion is always going to be in that top 4.
That's like death and taxes right now. Now, the only thing that could possibly go to Mike's point on that is if Tennessee beats Georgia, give them 2 losses, and then Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC championship game, and they both have 2 losses, then I could see an Oregon with 1 loss, a Texas with 1 loss, an Ohio or Michigan with 1 loss, leapfrogging them in that scenario, which is likely to happen because, again, Georgia don't look like they've been no count all year. Final 4, and I'm glad. See, he's right here in the script. Final 4, he says he's got the Bulldogs, the Wolverines, the Seminoles, and the Longhorns. That's what I was about to ask next. My 4 right now going into the CFP would be Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, and I really had Bama in my final one. I had them both getting in, but that's not going to happen. So my 4th right now, I'm going to go with Washington. Mike, who's your top 4 right now?
Yeah, I have Michigan, Ohio, Florida State, and Washington.
All right, so you're going with the Washington as well. Tasha, who's your top 4?
I got Bama, Michigan, Florida State, and Utah.
Okay, now Utah has a couple of big games on the horizon. A 1-loss Pac-12 school will get in the playoff because of their strength of schedule and so many ranked teams this season. Now, Melody says, I agree with Mike. Alabama dominates straight out of the gate. They look shaky to me. There's not many people on the Georgia bandwagon. That is for sure. We shall see. I mean, today is a honeydew list day for college football. I mean, do you see anybody?
The only teams that Utah really has to worry about is, of course, Oregon today and Washington later on.
Right.
If they
those are 2 strong teams.
Right. I mean, I said it like it was,
yeah.
Oh, they just have to beat the Dolphins.
I mean, Utah lost to who? Oregon State. And Oregon State, he still has to play those teams as well.
Right.
And then at the end of the year, we never know. Colorado may be skating without a stick. You never
That's
know.
a team that you probably like. Mike is what you just. Oh, you out on Dion?
No,
you out on the
no,
7 wins?
I'm not on out on Dion. I'm just saying Colorado's not going to beat a Oregon or a Washington. Like those are the obvious top 2 teams. I think USC
Washington
has
won
a
by
better
2
chance.
points against Arizona last week.
I think USC has a better chance to knock off an Oregon or Washington to just be like, hey, we're skating without a stick. We know we're not going to get in there, but we have Caleb Williams.
I mean, but y'all the same ones that said Prime. I said Prime was just going to be bowl eligible. Y'all was the one that was giving Prime 7, 8, 9 wins. It wasn't me. So now all of a sudden you don't think the Fighting Prime's going to do it?
Where's my cowboy hat? Y'all better be glad it's homecoming weekend for the Titans. They got a ranked UCLA tonight. We'll see. Now I'll be watching the World Series, but I mean they got. I mean I think that Colorado is dangerous when you have the number 1 quarterback in the country as far as passing yards, and your offense is scoring 35 points a game. If you're an opponent and you're not on your A game as far as scoring points, Colorado can clip you.
And Travis Hunter's coming back. He's going to get his strength back. I really think they need to only play him on one side.
I say he can play both ways, but like Charles Woodson did it, where you put him in certain packages and not 140 snaps.
Charles Woodson didn't get Tyrod Taylor neither with a lacerated lung. He still had the energy and he didn't miss any games. That boy is coming off a serious lung injury.
They need him on
but I'm
defense.
just saying, I don't mind him playing offensive snaps. He just can't play every offensive and defensive snap. Charles Woodson came in certain packages in certain situations. It was kind of like Cordell Stewart was when he was the Wildcat quarterback back in the Pittsburgh's early days. But Charles didn't play a lot of offense. He played some offense, but not a lot. Hey, let's go to the Titans picture first, producer. The Oilers picture first. There we go. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is homecoming for our hometown Tennessee Titans. They are back from London. They're back from their bye week. It is throwback weekend. You see me in my throwback jersey. They're going to have a bunch of greats, a bunch of legends from the Titans and Oilers past in attendance. The Atlanta Falcons are coached by Arthur Smith, who was the offensive coordinator when the Titans went to the AFC Championship game in 2019. So it's in homecoming all the way around. It's usually a festive time. But Titans fans don't feel like really celebrating homecoming because the guy that you see there to your left is no longer with the Titans. The Titans traded Kevin Byard to the Philadelphia Eagles for a grab bag of Funyuns. And it really sparked
the spicy ones, though.
No, I'm going to need y'all not to laugh at me right now. I need y'all to be here.
You said a grab bag of Funyuns.
Now, the Titans and Oilers jerseys, yes, Jarrell, because the owners of the Oilers moved into the Titans. They own the rights to the Oilers. Take that, Texans. Don't you? We better not ever catch you in them baby blues. So let's start here with you.
Blues, Texans, I dare you. Wham! I want to see it. What you gonna do, Paul? If they do?
You're gonna see me on first 48 Harris County is what you're gonna see me on. If they do that. That's what
on the next date.
You're gonna see. I done took me a trip. Don't burn the PTO day. Now, Mike, let's start with you because you are a noted Eagles fan. We all know that you love the Eagles. So, as an Eagles fan, what were your thoughts when you heard that trade go down this week?
Of course, I loved it. I mean, anything that can help the Eagles and the NFC East, help them on defense. They're thinking, NFC Championship game for sure. I think it really helped. But I'm also thinking, like, man, we have a lot of injuries on that O-line. Like, I guess that happens because no one trades for offensive lines, right? You usually draft for them.
You want one of the Titans offensive linemen?
No. So I was happy. I was like, okay, additional help. I like this.
Now Mike is pissing me off right now because he's calling a 2-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler, franchise leader in all-time interceptions a piece to the point. No, he's not a piece. He is a cog. He is a top 5 player at his position in the NFL right now, and he is under 30, which means he's in the prime of his career. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay.
They got the NFC in the bag right now.
Put him in the back
defense alone.
Put him in the back with big play Slay.
Right, with play Slay, you already got the front. What's going on, Shamika? You already got the front 7 intact. Your real weakness was in the secondary, and now you got Byard that covers. We call him the eraser because he covers up for mistakes. He erases mistakes on the front end. I mean, this is a big move for Philly. Marcus Stone checking in. He says, hey, Funyuns means money these days, thanks to Lil Tunchi. See, you got jokes. You got jokes, but don't worry. We're going to get on the stage one day.
Let me put you on the hot seat, Paul, because you always...
Come on with it.
You always like to put Mike and myself and anybody else on the hot seat. Let's just say, old Gerald Jones says we need us a running back, and that boy over there in Nashville.
Cue the picture, producer. Cue the picture.
Who you rooting for? That's my hot seat question. Who you rooting for?
Now run that back to me one more time.
If the King Henry ever got traded to the Cowboys, who are you rooting for?
Well,
well,
let me answer first. You cut me off before I even answer, Judge Mathis. What you gonna ask me next?
She said wrong answer. Wrong answer.
Right, she's telling me I'm lying already because Judge Mathis will do that. He'll tell you you're lying and you ain't even said nothing yet. Now look, breaking up the King, and to Tasha's point, because they in my mentions right now. King Henry has been rumored. He's been trending on Twitter all week. He's been
that ain't what I asked you.
No, let me set it up for you, Tasha.
It ain't no setup because you got the right
set up the segment.
Hot seat. I said hot seat.
What you be saying?
Who you answer the question? Answer the question. Who you rooting for if King Henry becomes a Cowboy? Because
I'm rooting for the Cowboys. Now, can I get my statement out?
That's all I wanted to know. So tight,
right? Because
right. He's sitting over there with his powder baby blue on, but y'all heard him.
I will be rooting for the Cowboys, like I root for the Cowboys every week. What's the difference?
King go to Dallas, he a Cowboy fan again.
What do you mean again? I've always been a Cowboys fan. We just watched the Cowboys and the 49ers, and I was rooting for the Cowboys.
We'll never see him in another Titans jersey.
No, that's not true. Now you're talking about I'm gonna always be a Titans fan. George got traded to Dallas. Ain't his jersey hanging up here on my wall?
It wasn't the same. Now come on.
Steve McNair got traded to Baltimore. Is he not my favorite player of all time still?
Eddie George to Dallas ain't the same as King Henry to Dallas.
Everybody has been traded from the Titans at one point, and I'm still rock my Titans jerseys. Like, what are you talking about?
That ain't the question. So
the question is, I'm still going to root for both teams. There is no hot seat. I'm a Titans fan and a Cowboys fan.
And the Cowboys playing. Who you got?
The Titans. All day, every day.
Mike, you know he lying, right?
Wait a minute. You asked me a question. Either you're going to believe the answer or you're not, but that's fine. Who was I rooting for when the Titans played the Cowboys last year?
I don't remember.
You do remember. I was rooting for the Titans. You remember that. I was rooting for the Titans.
He lying to save face with these Titans fans. If King Henry gets traded to these Cowboys, Paul will no longer be a Titans fan because that's his favorite.
You don't even believe Mike. Okay, Mike. Do you believe that, Mike?
No, I'm a believe Paul on this one because I remember what he said when he was rooting for the Titans, and it was the Titans need the win more than the Cowboys need the win.
Right, and I just said before the show that the Cowboys already have 5 championships and the Titans have 0. So yes, I'm always going to cheer for the Titans over the Cowboys.
As long as I've known Paul, he's been a Cowboy fan, guys.
And did you know me in 1999?
Long as y'all know me, I've been a 49er fan that roots for the Steelers. I don't give a damn who the 49ers trade.
Steelers. Mike, as long as you've known me, who have I been a fan of? The Titans? Or the Cowboys?
Titans been number 1, Cowboys number 2.
Right. The Titans have been number 1. When we traded to AJ Brown, I had an AJ Brown jersey, didn't I? I still rooted for the Titans, didn't I?
Okay, keep on.
Right. I mean, you're trying to back me into a corner, but that ain't gonna work. Now Melanie says, help me understand why they so hard on Malik when they knew he was ready to be the starting quarterback, when he wasn't ready to be the starting quarterback when they drafted him, but was thrown in due to injury, and now they want to talk down about him. That's like knowing that it takes several hours to cook your Thanksgiving turkey. You take it out earlier, then talk about how bad it tastes. Mike, let me come to you on that. Now, Ryan Tannehill is going to be out indefinitely because of an ankle injury. Word on the street is that Will Levis is going to get the start, but Mike Vrabel said that both quarterbacks are going to play. Do you agree with that? Do you think it should be Levis, or should Willis get another chance?
No, I would put Willis in there, kind of similar to what Michigan was in. I know everyone's tired of hearing about us talking about Michigan, but oh well. With the whole JJ and Cade before the previous years, like JJ would go in there sporadically. Like everyone knew he was the future, but we also wanted to give him some experience here and there. I think that's what you do right here. I think you put Levis toward like spotted in, but he's not going to be starting. Mm-hmm. No, I don't want to start him.
So you would start Willis Sunday?
Yeah. I would start. I mean, the team's not even ready. Like, I wouldn't put a Levis in here to see what he could do when, like, no, I ain't gonna put him in there yet.
I'm telling you,
who would you play?
You know what this breeds already. Old 50-50 and Vince Young. If your coach and your team don't believe in you, then free me.
I don't think that's the same scenario with Vince Young.
No, if you a Titans fan, so you say, I've seen some of the clips. When you look at Vrabel's face, and somebody else, and I noticed this, I said, darn, he didn't look happy. I was listening to one of my many podcasts that I listened to, and that's the first thing they said. You can tell Vrabel seems to be frustrated with Malik Willis. If y'all didn't want the boy, why did you guys draft him? And if y'all don't want him, put him somewhere where somebody would appreciate him. That's what angers me. But I'm starting with
Tasha. First of all, you can't find out if he can play until after you draft him.
But that's my point. Y'all drafted him, and everybody seems to think this boy is terrible. I don't think that he's.
Have you watched the games?
I'm watching with Tannehill, and it's generally the same outcome. It's generally the same outcome.
Two AFC South titles and an AFC Championship game.
Still piss poor play at quarterback. It is piss poor play at quarterback, regardless, because y'all just like the 49ers. If y'all had a viable quarterback when y'all was winning,
She said you going Fantasia on them.
Y'all would have got over that hump had y'all had a viable quarterback that wasn't scared. Not saying Malik Willis, because he would have been a rookie, and I don't think he would have came up to that, to that. Y'all put all y'all hopes on Tannehill, thinking Tannehill is all the organization, thinking he's this and all that. We know what the fans say about Tannehill. Y'all ain't even giving Malik Willis a chance. Y'all brought what's his name?
He's had 4 starts.
Y'all brought what's his name in there, and he played better than everybody y'all had. What's his name? The guy that graduated from UT that's at Arizona right now.
You're talking about I know you're talking about. His name escapes me right now. Lil Bill.
But I just don't think it's almost kind of like when you get a college player and you want him to fit into your system when you know his style of play don't fit. And I think that's kind of what it's doing. How like 50-50 really did not like Vince Young. Not saying that Vrabel doesn't like Malik. I don't think he likes.
Thank you, Kenny. It's Josh Dobbs.
Thank you, Kenny. Yeah. I don't think he likes his style of play, but he's already there. So they just like, but they're not trying to do anything to make him better. Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you get a rookie quarterback and you say we're gonna sit him, we're gonna develop him? They're not doing anything to make him better.
Now, Melanie says, is it honor the line? They say he can't read defenses, but does he really have time before he's hit? Now, Melanie, from someone who's watched every single play of every single game dating back to Lord knows when, a lot of those sacks that Malik Willis takes is because he doesn't see the coverages out there. He's holding on to the ball too long, and he's trying to use his athleticism, which worked at a lower level school like Liberty, but you're not outrunning Joey Bosa to the sideline. You're not outrunning Josh Allen from Jacksonville to the sideline. When he was getting sacked in the last game that he was in, it was because he was patting the ball and he didn't know where to go with the coverage. That's part of the frustration. Now, as far as Tasha's point about Vince Young, Jeff Fisher didn't want Vince Young. He wanted a quarterback. He wanted a different quarterback, Matt Leinart. But the owner, who's from Houston, wanted the hometown Houston kid, and the owner trucked him and did it that way. It was a unanimous decision with the Titans when they drafted him, although that GM is no longer with the team. Rand Carthon came in this year and drafted Malik Willis to be the replacement for Tannehill because they're not going to keep him past this year. So it's two different scenarios. The plan was for Tannehill to play the entire season if he stayed healthy, but he didn't. And yes, they should have paid A.J. Brown, but that was the sense of
why are they not developing Malik Willis to be the quarterback that they want him to be, or either playing schemes around his style of play?
What's his style of play?
I mean, you saw it at Liberty. You saw what he did. He is
I didn't see it.
I didn't see no Liberty games.
I did. In my opinion, he is a run first. If your offense is not set up for run first, why would you even draft him?
Well, the counterpoint to that is if you have a quarterback that's going to take time to develop, you want to arm him with a strong run game. The best friend of any quarterback is a good running game, and the offensive line has failed the Titans. That's been
I mean, I think, to Tasha's point, she's saying that he's strong off of the play action and then goes to the first one, and he's usually open in college, right? In NFL, it's obviously not that way, and you have to actually read. And if you can't read, there's not enough time to develop a quarterback in the NFL. That's like
you'll be without a job waiting on Malik Willis to get it.
That's like 5 years of experience to be able to read a coverage like that and react, and you don't have that so much time.
Right. Vrabel has lost 10 of his last 13 games. He doesn't have a whole nother year to throw away waiting on Malik Willis when you have another quarterback on the roster that you need to see before you may possibly be back in the running for one of these game-changing quarterbacks like a McCarthy, a Penix, Caleb Williams. The Titans only have 2 wins. Right now, they would finish with a top 10 draft pick. So if they continue to slide,
would you take another? This would be your 3rd year in a row taking a quarterback. Would you take a quarterback?
I would. Yes, I would. If it's a Malik, if it's a Caleb Williams, or if it's the kid out of North Carolina, or if it's J.J. McCarthy, then yes, I would, because you only invested a 2nd-round pick in Levis and a 3rd-round pick in Willis. You could move one of those in the offseason, because at this stage of the game, you have to have a quarterback, a franchise quarterback to build around in today's NFL. So yes, I would. Now, the perfect scenario would be for either Willis or Levis to take control of this job where they can spend their draft capital building around him. But that's going to be yes, Willis has not been put in the best positions to succeed as far as when he has to come into the game. But when you come into the game, you got to make plays. Brock Purdy was a lower draft pick than Willis. But he made plays when he came in the game. Go ahead, Mike.
If you're even thinking about drafting a quarterback, then yes, I think you should put in Levis like ASAP to see what he can actually do.
Right. Well, Tannehill show can't help him. Hell, who's helping him? Well, right. It's a bad position to be in if you're the Tennessee Titans, because Vrabel is trying to win now. Your veteran quarterback is out. And here's my thing on that. And Mike, I think you said this early in the season that Levis would eventually replace Tannehill. I don't know if you said it would be because of injury or production, but the football gods intervened and made it because of injury. That once you go with Levis, you can't go back to Tannehill. I think if you go with Willis and he struggles, you can just buy a couple of weeks to get Tannehill back. But once you go with the 2nd-round pick, you have to leave him in there whether he struggles or not. It's just a bad place to be. Now, back to King Henry real quick. Mike, the trade deadline is Tuesday. What would be the minimum you would take back for a Derrick Henry trade?
I would probably go with a trade of some type, whether it be another running back, wide receiver, combined with it seems like the consensus is like a 2nd and 5th rounder, 4th rounder, but at least a 2nd and something. So a player, a 2nd rounder, and then insert another draft.
Okay, Tasha, what about you? What would be the minimum that you would take for King Henry if you were Jerry Jones offering and then Amy Adams Strunk on the other end? What would it take for you to give up Derrick?
The Titans are going to need a whole lot, and I don't really see too many teams going to give them. It's going to be some type of offensive line player. It has to be, because that's their. But who is Jerry going to get? Because the Cowboys' offensive line is not really the issue.
No.
Who you going to give up off of that line?
I think they would have to do, to Mike's point, a combination of future picks, which doesn't help the Titans now. And here's the thing.
They're rebuilding. The Titans are rebuilding now.
Right. Now, we totally agree there. And
but you have a player in Jeffrey Simmons. Is he going to want to stay during that entire process? And I think the answer is no.
Well, the only problem with that is that this ain't basketball. He can't force his way out. Like, he has no leverage. Now, if he's Dame Lillard, maybe. But he don't have no leverage. He just signed a contract this offseason.
He can pull a Lamar Jackson.
He can, but in the NFL, they're gonna take all his money. Like, you're gonna miss hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars if you sit out.
But if he has an injury and he telling him he can't play.
No, I mean, he can do that as well. If he wants to do that, but really he's just short. I mean, he's just making it worse for himself. Like, the players don't have any leverage when it comes to that. We've seen that with the running backs, and the franchise chose to pay him over AJ Brown. That was the reason why there was no money left for AJ. Now, Stone checking, he said the league won't respect the running back trade. Somebody will offer a draft pick and minimal capital. That's where I am with it. What can you get for a 30-year-old running back? That's why I'm like, it may be more beneficial to keep him and just let him walk in the offseason.
And then again, back to the trade, if you're saying, okay, we're going to give up this round, we're going to give up that round. So if your offensive line is already the issue, you really going to bring in some rookie offensive linemen and think they're going to do the job?
Right. Because the worst thing that you want to do is get Levis' neck broke out there like Tannehill the last 2 years. It's just it's a bad position to be in if you're the Tennessee
I will
Titans.
say that
go ahead, Mike.
Recently, these draft picks have been working out pretty instantly. I think, with these college players jumping in, they're starting right away from the offensive and defensive lines. So I think these draft picks will be, if you're rebuilding, that's where you rebuild, is collecting these draft picks.
No, Mike, before I get to Melanie's question, I'm going to ask you this. If your plan is to go ahead and start Levis or Willis, either one, would it be more beneficial for you to have Derrick Henry to help ease some of the pressure on offense the remaining of the year while you evaluate, or would you rather have the draft capital?
I would rather keep them to see, like, okay, well, let's see with a good running back what the quarterback can do. Because if you remove him, then all they're going to be doing is loading the box and you're done.
Right.
Like, man coverage.
Spears is all right. Right.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Jarrell, this is what I'm thinking. You're going to get a 4th and a 5th rounder for him. You might as well hold on to him unless Jerry blows you away and offers you a solid offensive lineman and a pick or something. But to Tasha's
second
point,
rounder, I'm telling you.
why would he do that and weaken his own offensive line? Like, he's trying to win a Super Bowl too. It's a bad place to be.
Not.
Good morning, Christina.
He's not trying to win a Super Bowl, but that's a different topic for a different day.
Use a lie. How come he ain't trying to win a Super Bowl?
He does not care. He does not care. As long as that revenue comes in, Jerry Jones does not care.
No, Jerry Jones is going to be rich whether they win or lose, but I think he wants to win a Super Bowl. I think so. He puts the
ultimate goal.
Right. Get him, Tasha. Get him. You done got me.
Jerry does everything Jerry is doing now. Even his talk, how he goes on that radio station down there and talks. Jerry's main thing is about getting him at least one more championship.
Right. He wants one without Jimmy's players. Bam.
Right. He just wants.
No, he got that Jimmy curse though.
He just wants one championship. Come hell or high water.
Jimmy didn't win nothing without Jerry either. He went to Miami and was out of the league fishing.
He was happy though. He was like,
Dan Marino.
He's like, so anyways.
They were good for each other. And Marcus says it starts up front. QB and running back won't matter. Biggest issues the Titans line. They can't address that until the offseason.
You can't score no points without a quarterback or running back.
The Cowboys are trying to win a Super Bowl. Don't be like that, Mike. Tasha, you hurt my feelings saying that I'm going to walk away from my Titans. I'll never walk away. Never. I'll never walk away, and I'll never tell a lie. I'm going to make it up to you.
Come on, baby face. No.
We always make up over some R&B. All right. Producer, cue the picture. It's for our picks. AP Culture checking in. Good morning. And a happy belated birthday to Miss AP Culture. Celebrated her 21st birthday on Tuesday. Happy birthday to you, Queen. Now, it's time for the extra points pick'em. Looks like Mike and Tinsel done left me at the bus stop. I'm rerun chasing the truck.
That's what I don't understand, Paul. I had a terrible week, and the reason why, and I went back on something I always say. This was the first week I didn't bet on black, and I got boinged.
Look at what? Boinged?
It'll never happen again, Paul. So what's
you get a chance for a reprieve? Mike got you back in the rotation today
because he keeps following you. That's why.
Oh no! Don't do that, Mike. Don't
my pick go first.
Now look, I'm only 4 games back, y'all. I'm like the Titans. I'm wondering if I should trade myself for Marcus Stone. Anybody want to trade with me to do the rest of these picks? Christina, how you don't own the point spreads? Jarrell, can I get a sub in? I'll take a bye week. They are crushing me in the picks. But damn it, this is my week to come back. And there's 2 games on here that's going to cost me, but y'all about to find out right now. Let's start in college. We got the Ducks versus Utah. The Oregon is on the road as a 6.5 point favorite. Oh, she said she might be interested. Come on, Christina. Help your boy out. I need to catch your brother on these picks. Tasha, who you got, Oregon or Utah?
Damn. I just thought about something.
She started with damn.
No, I did. I just thought about something. Ain't that the Utah quarterback is going to be out, right?
He is. Cam Robinson is out for the season. Way to do your research.
And I picked him in the final.
He's been out, though.
Yeah, he came back for a couple of weeks, and then they was like, no, just shut this thing down.
Yeah, they officially, oh, wait a minute. This may change up a whole lot of stuff. Now, wait a minute. I just thought about that.
They do play strong at home, though.
Utah got hands, and that defense is legit.
I mean, don't be trying to talk me into nothing. So now, how about y'all pick first? I
got Oregon and the points. They cover by more than 7 because of what.
Same Oregon and the points. Let's go.
Okay, so since I'm going for Oregon now. Y'all ain't finna keep setting me up.
She's being political, Mike. Mike, check out sketcher.
Y'all ain't finna keep setting me up. I gotta gain some in the poll, so I'm going out Oregon, and I'm going last.
I just usually pick opposite of you, but
Tasha know how to play the game. She says y'all go first, and then I'll pick mine. She said y'all go first, and then I'll pick mine. All right, I'm gonna go first on all of these. We have New Orleans versus Indy. Indy is a 1.5 point underdog at home to the Fighting Marcus Stones. I like what Indy's been doing with old business in the front, party in the back. Old Gardner Minshew. I like what they look like with Gardner Minshew. They actually look better, more explosive offensively than they did with Anthony Richardson. Don't do that, Mike. Don't make that face. I'm going to take Indy at home to cover the 1.5. Mike.
I got New Orleans.
You going with the Fighting Derek Carrs, huh? And the Camaros. All right, Tasha. We split. Who you taking?
Oh, when the same.
You see why she's taking you because she got more wins than me.
I just don't believe it. I mean, even though the Colts, they got cheated out of that victory last week.
They got cheated big time. Yes, they did. I'm glad you brought that up. Now, in Tasha's Redemption Bowl, the Bet on Black 3.0, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars going to the Ketchup Dome, Heinz Field, to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh is a 2-point home underdog. I'm betting on black. Billy Wop. I got the Steelers at home.
Well, I know Tasha's going Steelers, so I got to get a game on her, so I'm going to go Jacksonville.
You not so fast, Jacksonville, where that booty and whoop.
There it is. Wait a minute, you gonna get a call out? You gonna call out that county?
Duval?
Y'all.
Simply because
either I'm gonna catch up or I'm gonna be out of the race this week. Go ahead, Tasha. Simply because
y'all, they were at a Pittsburgh Penguins hockey game. And they was yelling out "Fire Canada" at the hockey game.
They can't stand Matt Canada. But here's the reason why the Steelers are gonna win. Glorilla rubbed all up on Mike Tomlin this week, and that man's gonna be fired up and ready to go. Did y'all see Glorilla go meet Mike Tomlin early this week? Do y'all know who Glorilla is?
Yeah, I do. But my thing
Mike's
is,
looking like who?
this is a toss up for me because y'all know Sunshine is my fantasy QB.
Well, it's raining in Dallas. F for Sunshine.
So I'm gonna need Sunshine to get his numbers off, and I just think he can. Even though the Steelers defense is kind of showing cracks. They had a major meltdown, like making mistakes that they normally didn't make, which are easily corrected because it is the Steelers. I'm really tired of them talking about TJ Watt when you got Minka Fitzpatrick who leads the team in tackles. But they only go for the glitz and the glamour and keep on to say TJ Watt is this and that, which he is a hell of a player.
He is.
A lot more durable than his brother.
Treese is in your corner. He's my QB too, Toss.
So, you know what? I'm going to bet on black. I was just joking. Y'all know I said I was going to bet on black.
Tasha with the pump fake. Oh, I mean, she got Mike in the air.
That's perfect. Perfect.
Mike feeling real good about his picks this week. All right, next up, we have the Battle of New York. We're going to call this the Gopher Rat game. All right, we have the New York Jets versus the New York Giants. The Jets are a 3-point favorite. They're playing in the same stadium, so I guess it's a neutral site game. I am going to take. Is Tyrod Taylor playing, or is it the?
Well, according to the New York News, Tyrod Taylor's supposed to play.
I'm taking the Jets +3 with Taylor in the helm. I'm going Jet. I'm taking no. I'm taking the Giants with Tyrod.
Wait a minute, let me check real fast. Because when I watched the news last night,
Mike, quit laughing.
Because I'm going with Tyrod Taylor and them too. I ain't going with the Jets.
Great. I'll take the Jets.
Well, Millie walk with it then. You so confident about it. There it is.
Let's go.
And the sad part about it, you got the game of the century being played in the AFC. And who did they slate me with? Because I get New York programming for for CBS now. The Jets and the Giants.
All right.
With the Jets defense, they can stop it. I'm just saying.
Now, Marcus said Tyrod is playing, so I'm rolling with punctured lung.
Because they look better. They look better with Tyrod.
They do. They do. Mike,
Jets
why?
have a good defense. Just saying.
Mike, why do they look better with Tyrod other than Daniel Jones?
Because Daniel Jones is bad. Yeah, he's bad.
But the thing is, Daniel Jones has a strong arm. He's mobile. He's tough. Like I like the qualities that he has as a stopping Mike.
He can't.
What does that mean?
He can't read.
Oh, so he's got Willis syndrome.
Right.
You can confuse him on the back end. Look, we're trying to be respectful. All Mike is saying is that he ain't saying that Willis can't read, because I know some of us get a little touchy. He's saying he can't read defenses yet, because they didn't play any complex defenses at Liberty. Last but not least, in the Titans homecoming game, this might be your last time to see the King in his jersey game. In the Paul gonna need an Excedrin, a goody powder, and some crack game, because if we lose this one, this is about OV for the Titans. Okay, North Carolina man checking in says, forget Daniel Jones. He went to Duke. Basketball season is rapidly approaching. Damian Coulter. All right. Tennessee Titans are a 2.5-point home underdog. Give me the Titans and the points. Give me the Titans and the points.
Is Bijan playing? Because they like to hide and disclose his injuries.
Give me them Titans. Right, Bijan out there. Ain't nothing wrong with him and not playing. Looking at. Give me them Titans.
I think he was injured, but they just didn't want to put it out there. So I need.
That's against the NFL rules. Where's Connor Stallions?
Because they said he got out there and played a couple of downs that he didn't injure. Oh, I didn't know I was hurt till I got out there. Right.
Okay. Well, then talk to who you got. You going with them dirty birds?
Wait a minute. I need to see if Bijan.
Bijan's supposed to play this week.
Well, hell, he was supposed to play last week too. I need the full-on injury report.
That's the man right there. Kenny said, just know when you see this profile picture, I'm a Titans fan. That's what's up. I don't care. You can trade away King Henry. You can trade away Vrabel. They traded away Steve McNair. They traded away Derek Mason. They traded away Eddie George. The Freak went to the Philadelphia, and I've stood tall with my Titans. I was a Titans fan when we had Zach Mettenberger. I was a Titans fan when we had Malik Willis and Joshua Dobbs last year. Y'all was joking on me in the memes. Oh, she's doing the dirty bird, y'all. So she's taking the Falcons. Mike, tread carefully here.
No, ain't no tread carefully. I got the Titans. They ain't losing in those uniforms.
Shit, chew. Them they gonna be misty blue.
Why my brown eyes blue? All right, the survivor pick, y'all. The Titans got me eliminated over in London. They left me over there across the pond. They got me roasted. So I'm out of the running. Who's your survivor pick this week, Tasha?
Oh, wait a minute. You did send it to me. Hold on.
Mike, you go ahead and go while she does that. AP Coulter says, I got them Titans. What's up with that?
I was going to have the Titans as my upset pick. I already picked them, so I'm going to go again. I'm going to double down on the 49ers losing. I got the Bengals with the upset.
Y'all, Mike said last week, for y'all that didn't catch the show, he said that Minnesota was going to beat San Fran on Monday Night Football, and I almost zapped him out of the show. And I'll be damned if on Monday Night Football, Kirk Cousins didn't look like the second coming of Joe Montana with 4 touchdowns.
The lines? I ain't looking like no Joe in Montana.
Martree said, bye for the Misty Blue. Tighten up.
I'm going to go with... Darn. I mean, everybody's even.
Some even games this week.
I'm going to go with the Eagles over the Commanders.
Okay, so she's going with the Eagles over the Command Skins. And Mike has the Bengals over the 49ers. They said Brock Purdy might actually play this week. Tasha, did you want to see him out there?
Brock Purdy ain't playing. He out. He's out. They're gonna.
So you saying no. Now, Melanie has a question. Why do they have to disclose injuries, Mike? These are pros. They should be ready for whoever they face. That's part of the game scheme. Mike, you want to address that?
Why do they have to make it like public?
Yes.
I'm sure for bettors. I'm sure Vegas has their hand in that.
That's exactly why. Mike, you're a degenerate gambler. I figured that you jump all over that. It's for Vegas, Melanie. Vegas is in bed with the NFL, and the injuries help them conduct a point spread. Like you hear me and Mike say that certain such as a 1.5 point underdog or 1.5 point favorite. A key injury to a player like Bijan Robinson will move the line in a game like this against the Titans. So if the Titans were a 2.5 point underdog, if Bijan Robinson were not to play, the money is going to go towards the Titans, which will move the line towards the Titans. Right. So it's $1 billion industry. Yeah, my mama said it a little more eloquently.
2.5 point underdog to a 9-point favorite.
Yes. And Mama says, quite simply, for betting folk, I could have just said that, Mom. I'm sorry. I got a little wordy there. And like Tree said, for that parlay. That's why they have to disclose injuries. And that's why the NFL takes it so serious when you don't disclose the injury. And you have to do it by Wednesday so that, when the money starts ramping up. We're here for you, Melanie. But I do like the question. That was an excellent question for somebody who doesn't bet. I appreciate that question. Now, Mike, I don't know what everybody else was doing last night, but we could tell by your background what you was doing last night. You were watching game 1 of the World Series, and for those that didn't watch, Texas was down 5-3 in the ninth inning, the bottom of the ninth. Corey Seager comes up there, hits a 2-run shot, ties the game, sends it into the extra innings. They do a little volleying back and forth, and in the bottom of the 11th, Adolis Garcia, a.k.a. the Sledgehammer, a.k.a. Chef Curry with the bat, smacks one out, a walk-off home run, the first one to do that since Kirk Gibson back in the 80s.
It was a slider, too. Those are hard to hit for a home run.
Now, some sliders would have been good with that game. I should have got me some sliders last. Oh, you're not talking about the food, huh?
No, the pitch.
Oh, okay. All right. Mike, what were your thoughts on game 1 of the World Series? Texas up 1-0.
I thought Arizona played really well. I think they should probably have won that game. But they kept us hanging around. They probably needed a couple more runs to keep us out of it. To be honest, Dallas bats were pretty cold through the game. They got us out of it at the end, but they haven't woke up yet, and that's the points that we saw from Arizona, that's how they play. So like we're not going to see anything different from them. I think moving forward, we have Montgomery playing tonight. I think Texas takes it, and I want to say 5, but I want them to win at home.
5 games, huh?
So I'm gonna say Texas in 6, just because I want them to win at home.
Now, a lot of people were like Tasha. They said that game went past midnight. They caught the highlights in the morning. She's on the Eastern time zone. Tasha, do you think that this will be the Texas Rangers' first title this year?
I mean,
Arizona was on that ass.
I mean, I haven't watched much Diamondback baseball to really.
No one has.
So
right. They kind of caught us out of nowhere.
And that's why I hated when they were announcing and they was like, oh, it's going to be a Southwest. All I saw was me going to bed and not seeing nothing but the first pitch.
Like Christina. And like my mama said, she said, I slept through it. The text showing up. Tasha, to that point, let me ask you this. Me and Mike are in the city of Dallas, so nobody was going to miss this game. Does this give the national outside casual fan any buzz through these two teams?
No.
Damn, tell us how you really feel.
Okay. I'm okay with that, you know.
And even here, of course, baseball craze, I haven't seen a lot. I mean, of course, they root for Dominican players, but I haven't seen anyone say anything about or post anything about the World Series other than they're just rooting for the Dominican player. Like
right. They don't have any of the nationally known teams.
Neither one of these teams is moving the needle. Oddly enough, they love Mookie Betts down here.
Cashville stand up.
They love Mookie Betts.
No, it doesn't carry the same national buzz. And the thing is, I kind of figured that might be the case when some of the national publications would rather talk about Connor Stallions and what he was doing 2 years ago in the back alley behind Hooters than they were about Game 1 of the World Series. I was like, okay, so now I see what they're going to try to make this.
Shrimp. What you talking about?
Right, he was in the treehouse with Harbaugh. They were playing Bid Wiz. Yeah, okay. All right, well, I got the Rangers in 6. No, let me keep it real. I got the Rangers in 7 because if they don't give you a heart attack, they ain't fine. So I got the Rangers in 7. They win. Yeah, the pitching. It's the pitching, bro. It's the pitching. I don't trust that pitching. Now, Kenny says, I got to say something, man. LeBron still got it. Do it all. AD still ain't taking the keys. Did y'all see the Suns and Lakers?
Thank you, Kenny, man. Now, people get on me and Paul laughs when I call this brother.
I'm laughing now.
He pulled an Armani Cooper and called him out while he was at work. This is why LeBron will never get rest, and LeBron will never win another championship.
You said not with AD.
Simply because AD's not ready for it. He's not ready to have all of that on his shoulders.
You know what AD stands for? Ah, damn. Because that's what he looks like in the second. Mike, the man had 0 points in the second half of their opening loss against Denver. And 47-year-old LeBron James had to play every minute of the fourth quarter to bring them back from 12 down to beat the Phoenix Suns that didn't have Devin Booker or Bradley Beal. The King did King things. He put his crown back on and said, Savannah, get the icy hot ready, get the Epsom salt ready. I'm going to need some when I get home. He took over the game.
Against Phoenix, you saw when did AD produce? Only because the Kings in the game the second half.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Treese did me one better. AD stands for almost done. He's out of here.
It stands for A, dude.
Hey, dude. Mike, give us an AD. What AD stand for?
And nope. Add insert here. Add insert here. You know, they could sell his spot on the bench if they just gave him an ad. Just be like, here, hold this. Let's get something out of here.
This show is brought to you by.
He's basically showing that he is not capable. Now, I'm not gonna say capable, even though I call the man street clothes. But
if it's not capable, that's even worse. I'd rather you just not be capable.
He's not ready.
I just love people posting in their 2K plays, and it's just like the player barely hits AD, and then AD's like, ugh.
Did
And
you
then
see the one where
AD
he
was
playing
playing
online
himself.
and he got
Yeah,
hurt
he
playing
played
himself?
himself, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm hurt." What?
And he wasn't even hurt. He just didn't produce. And
His
LA,
curl won't quite. His ponytail won't. You can't get that little thing quite around it because it don't nothing hang out the back of it.
like Whoopi Goldberg said in Ghost, you in trouble, girl.
Right.
LA,
LeBron,
you
you
in
can't
trouble.
play that many minutes this year and expect to do anything in the playoffs. The Lakers may be in trouble. Tasha, who you shouting out today?
Who I got a shout out for?
I'll
Really
go first.
nobody.
Malik Willis.
I'll go first.
Ain't got no shout outs this week.
I got
Mike,
a
who you
shout
shouting
out.
out?
You know, we go bowling on Wednesday nights. My lovely wife in the 10th frame last game threw a strike. It was pretty clutch. Very proud of her stepping up like that. And yeah, it was great. It was a great moment.
We're moving on up them stands. Shouts out to Stacy. That was clutch. Tasha.
I do have a shout out. I forgot. When I said Sasha was in New York this past weekend, she was there to see her best friend, Altie, who performed at the famed Apollo Theater.
Is that Chief Keef?
You know what? And not only did he performed his own original music. And they said normally when you perform,
Okay.
So they didn't bring the broom out on them?
and that was what I was going to say. Normally they say when you perform your own or your original music, you're one of the first ones to get booed. He didn't get booed. He didn't advance, but everyone gave him praise for how well his own music and his performance was. He didn't advance, but he did not get booed at all.
Congratulations to that kid because it takes a lot of chutzpah and guts to get up in front of that Apollo crowd.
That's his Instagram handle.
All right, make sure you follow him on Instagram and get his numbers up. Yay to him. Good job by him. Daniel wants to chime in on AD. He says AD don't have enough energy for the second half of games. His body frame can't hold the weight of that long. You know what? I should have proofread this, Damon, before I post this up here. He ain't got it. We don't need him taking jump shots. Well, the coach said he wanted him taking 6 threes a game. I guess that'll keep his skinny ass out the paint. All right. Once again, I want to wish my mom a happy birthday. I want to give a shout out to Adolis Garcia. He will be a household name by the 7th game of this series. This guy here, he's just making it do what it do. The Halloween party is at Mike's house. I'm dressing up as Deion Sanders. I'm going to do the white beard and everything. Mike, what you going to be for Halloween this year?
I'm going to be Doctor Strange.
He's strange.
And I like it.
Oh, well, what do we have here?
Girl.
Hey, that's my girly girl. Man, y'all know y'all owe me this.
She's ready. Look, she got the water. She got the
okay. All right. Hey, you all right? Want to send a shout out to my Uncle Joe. His birthday is on Tuesday. His birthday's Tuesday. He's born on Halloween, and he says that way he can either trick you or treat you. Is his favorite saying. Yes, baby girl has made her appearance. You see the hearts pouring in. You see the hearts pouring in for the cutie pie. That's my snooker wooka booka. I love her so much. Hey, sweetie. Sorry I missed you Wednesday.
I love you so.
Look at her smiling. She ready for the camera. Look at her. She ain't scared.
You're the girl who makes me feel so good. Cutie pie. Nothing but a cutie pie.
Oh my goodness, I'm in love. She is beautiful. But the thing is, when you get close to her, her calmness and her energy, she's just a pleasure to be around. She's such a cutie pie. She's waving. She ain't scared. She be distracting our opponents because they all want to play with her and talk to her while we busting their head in bowling. Happy birthday, Uncle Joe. Happy birthday, Auntie. Y'all, we are out of here. We will see y'all in 6 days and 23 hours. Until then,
go blue.
Go blue. We not guilty.
Go blue.
We ain't playing today.
Go blue. We got to survive.